to TeshTalkTV. I'm Tesh Beckham. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and I hope that you just enjoy every video that I ever make. And even if you don't, hopefully you'll learn something and can pass something on to someone else.
So anyways, there were lots of incidents. I'm trying to go piece by piece, but I remember being lonely a lot. I also remember overhearing her talking to someone and telling them that I had been molested. I didn't know what that meant at the time. She didn't use the word molested. But I do know that when I used to play with my dolls, I used to have them doing a little inappropriate shit, which means that I more than likely, I don't remember any of it. And that, unfortunately, is a mental illness, and it is so prevalent, and it is, you know, people like to go, oh, that's what white people do to their kids, or that's what, no. Everywhere you go, in every part of the world, that mental illness is there, whether it be hurting babies or infants or toddlers or young children or teenagers or young adults. Oh, hell, animals. It's a disease, and yeah. So, yeah, I'm a victim of that as well. I always tell people, if you can think of anything that is traumatic, I've experienced it. I don't remember the molestation, but I do know that I cannot watch movies with rape in it. Like, I just get, like, my stomach churns. Like even thinking about it right now, we're going to go on to the next subject. But there were a lot of things that, you know, I remember one time I was told to change my clothes. I don't know what was going on, but I came outside and I had whatever she had told me to wear. I had put on the wrong thing, and I had to go back in the house. I think I went back in the house like 3 or 4 times. I could not get it right. And when you yell at your kids, like, stop yelling at your fucking kids. Like, talk to them. And sometimes they're going to get confused. Everybody has a day when they have a blind moment. People feel like their children can't be stressed out. Babies get stressed out. Babies get annoyed. Like, I know every now and then you might have to yell because kids will test you. But when that's a part of your daily speech to your children, that's a problem. And I don't care who agrees with that or not. It made me nervous. You can't think. And excuse my lighting. For some reason, I don't know what's going on with it, but it's just dimming on its own. But we gonna roll with it because I said I'm doing my damn videos today. And she ended up hosing me down, like drenching me. Then I was scared because she was like, go in the house. Get your ass in the house. And then I was like, but if I go in the house and I wet up the floor, I'm going to get beat for that too. Like, there were a lot of moments where I didn't know what to do. You know, like, I got to do this because if I don't, I'm going to get in trouble. But if I do it, this is going to happen. And then I'm going to get in trouble again. Like, do I get one beating? But then if I don't move, then I'm going to be defiant. So then I'm going to get in trouble for that too. Like, there were a lot of confusion, a lot of nervousness. And, of course, she beat me. And it's crazy. Like, I was so little. Like, how I look at a child that size now, you know, all of these things happened when I was under 8 and under. And this is just like, what, 3 incidents, 4 stories, I don't know. What else do I remember? I haven't left elementary school yet. I don't know what the hell. I never knew what led up to these things, but I could never remember why I was in trouble for whatever it was that I was in trouble for. But so again, I haven't left elementary school yet, but I was kicked up the hall by my vagina. And oh my God, what was it for? Oh, and I used to take food that I didn't like, and I would like pack it in my jaws, and then when she wasn't looking, I would put it in like a paper towel or a napkin, and I would ball it up. Kids are so silly. And I would stick it like in just random places. So I think it was for something like that, like finding food stuff behind the sofa. Like I never knew to go back and get it and like push it down the side of the garbage. I didn't get that skilled until I got a little older. But and I used to get migraines. I started getting migraines when I was probably 6, and a lot of the times I knew, as an adult reflecting, I knew that those migraines were as a result of stress, and they were only present as a result of stress. Like now I get migraines a lot, and I don't know what the fuck they are from because it's not like they just started like last year. I didn't get migraines on a regular basis until last year. That's a whole nother topic, but and then I remember her. Okay, so she kicked me out the hallway. And she used to like, oh my God, like some of the stuff she would say was so crazy. And I remember being confused a lot and trying to understand what it meant. But anyway, so, and then she told me, she said, I had her child's full bedroom set. I grew up with a lot of nice things, but I would trade those for happiness as a kid. I'll tell you that. But I did grow up with a lot of things that most kids that I went to school with didn't have. Like I had a headboard and a footboard on my bed. I had a hutch, a dresser, a desk. I had a lot of things, a lot of nice things. Clothes, because every time she made up for, sometimes she made up for beating the shit out of me by buying things for me. Anyways, she told me, she said, you see that footboard right there? I will tie your foot. This is the same right after she kicked me up the hallway by my vagina. And I would think that you would tell a child something like that, maybe a teenager, if they are doing something slutty or promiscuous. I was like 6, and she said, I don't know what the hell I did. And I know it wasn't anything promiscuous because I didn't do shit like that. So she said, I will tie your foot to this bed, and I will hold your other foot, and I will pour black pepper in your pussy. And I blanked out after that because I don't know. I was scared she was going to do it. I don't know what else she said after that, but I remember that. Shit like that. Like me getting up, and I remember I was on the toilet, and I remember her saying, yeah, I wiped your shitty ass and ain't nobody else want to wipe your shitty ass. When your mama was at screwing all of the military men at the base where your daddy was at. When I met my mom, and I told my mom that, my mom was like, what? She was like, I didn't meet your dad at a military base. Anyways, yeah, I wiped your shitty ass when nobody else wanted to wipe your shitty ass. I took you in when ain't nobody want your ass. And I don't know what was going on, but I remember we have not left elementary school yet. And I remember thinking to myself, I would never say anything out loud. I would never like roll my eyes. Oh my God, no, never. But I remember thinking to myself, why didn't you just leave me there? I didn't ask you to take me. I remember thinking that when I was in elementary school, like, I didn't ask you to come get me. And if you didn't want me, why you just ain't leave me there? Because you sound like you don't want me. I remember thinking that, and being told, oh, you're going to be a whore just like your mom. Don't think because you're light-skinned that you are Don't think because you're light skinned that you're better than me. Don't think because you got light skin, and you got long hair that you pretty. Don't think that you better than me. You are not just like me. That was told to me quite a lot. Very racist, hated white people. And I understand why, because she grew up in a time where, civil rights and all of that. And before the civil rights movement, she's been spat on by white kids. They had to walk in the snow to go to school. I've heard the stories, and the white kids would pass them on the bus and throw rocks at them and spit on them and spit out of the windows. And, but I'm sorry. I wasn't there when my mom and dad, I wasn't there. I have nothing to do with what I look like. I have nothing to do with my hair, my shape, my smile, my skin complexion. I don't have anything to do with that. And that goes out to, another sidebar, that goes out to all of the black women that I have had issues with in my life, at my jobs, and in high school, and middle school. Walk in the room, look you up and down, do one of those. Why? I just entered the room. I didn't even say shit. So, I dealt with a lot of racism in the house that was openly expressed towards whites, and then that was also thrown in my face, my skin color and things like that. Or, like I said, guys, I feel like I've told this story so many times. I don't know if it's on the other video, but just roll with me. People, to this day, it is very difficult for me to take compliments. I always deflect. Oh, you're so pretty, or, oh, I love that dress. And I'll be like, oh, this thing, or, oh, thank you. Well, there's some comedy that's going to come in. Like, I can't just say thank you. Because when I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to accept compliments. She would push me behind her and say, don't tell her that. Don't tell her that. Anyway, so let me see. Now I'm realizing, now I hold my pee. I can hold my pee all day. It's bad. I'm working on it. Literally, I can hold my pee all day. And that comes from me not being able to use the bathroom. I didn't know why then, but and I peed the bed a few times. What's crazy was that she didn't beat me for that, but she knew that it was because of her that I peed the bed. But I now understand that she had her little boo over, and I guess in her mind she didn't want me to see that he had spent the night, but I knew that anyway because I'm not stupid. I wasn't allowed to get up until he left. So whenever the fuck he left is when I could pee. So yeah, I had to hold my pee, and I have developed a horrible habit because of that. Children who have been abused have weird habits. Another habit I have is twirling my hair. All my friends and my nephews and nieces get on me about that. That's directly, like, if people start talking about abuse, others have told me that I immediately go straight here and I just start pulling. I don't pull my hair out, but they think I'm pulling my hair out and it weirds everybody out. But we have these little tics. I get angry or angered quickly when somebody talks to me in a rude tone, or if they are disrespectful, because that's all I grew up with, is speaking to me like an animal, yelling at me. That's why I tell people, stop yelling at your kids. You don't have to do that. Every blue moon maybe, but every day, talking to them, calling them stupid, calling them retarded, calling them dumb. Oh, you stupid like your daddy. Oh, you dumb like your mama. Stop doing that. You got a problem. Anyways, but yeah, they say that people that have traumatic experiences, especially for long periods of time, have PTSD. They originally associated that with war veterans and people who were directly subjected to war, but now it's proven that people who have experienced things like me have PTSD. And I know that there are certain triggers that I have. I am always smiling and I'm always happy, but there are certain triggers, and I know that they're directly linked to my childhood. You know, I got into it one time with this guy at one of my other jobs, and they were like my boss was like, you know, he has PTSD. I was like, nigga, I got PTSD. Why are you telling me that? And but either way, and yeah, so I'm just trying to remember something else. Being choked until you can't breathe or speak or anything. I think that was that was in elementary too. She had bought me for Christmas a jewelry repair kit, and no, that might have been middle school. Yeah, I think that was middle school. But she bought me a jewelry repair kit, and her husband at the time, well, it was the only dad in the house that I had besides my real dad. My dad was on drugs, so I saw him because of Vietnam War. I saw him randomly, but her husband was developing dementia, and we didn't know, and he started like touching the house, and because he was still functional and still working, and I don't think she really like sat down and studied what the fuck dementia is. There were things that would get tampered with, and then who got blamed for it? Me. She used to count the peppermints and candies in the jar, and if one was gone, I got in trouble for it. Tell her that I didn't eat it, I was a liar. Cookies. Like I remember I had to stand up on a chair and reach down the center to the middle of the cookies because I didn't want to touch around that side, because I would see her lean back and look at how the cookies were like shaped in the jar. And so I couldn't just pull cookies out. I had to make sure that when I reached down in the center that the other cookies didn't fall, because she was looking at how it was shaped in the jar or set in the jar. She did that. And he started tampering with her jewelry. And you know, some of this stuff that I didn't realize until I was an adult, seeing him still going to that same jewelry box and tampering with the same necklace I got choked out for, was when I realized as an adult that, oh shit, oh wow. So her necklace was broken, and she blamed me, and she said, oh, you just wanted to play with it. And I remember, now that I'm thinking about it, I remember saying, well, I don't play, like I'm in middle school, what are you talking about? I didn't say that, like thinking it, you know. And she was like, you just wanted to use that jewelry kit that I gave you so you could play, and you broke it on purpose or something like that. And I was like, I didn't. Of course, you're a liar. And I got beat. And I don't know if it was like her favorite necklace or whatever, but I remember she was sitting on the bed in her room, and she said, come here. And I was, you know, your mama call you, and you're standing in front of them, like up in front of them, and she's just looking up at me, and I was like, no, I didn't. And I was like, she was like, yes, you did. And I was like, she was like, just tell the truth. And I was like, I am telling the truth. Like, I didn't touch your necklace. And I remember her eyes stretching like this, and she squealed like a fucking pig. Of course, I'm not going to even try to reenact that with this voice. She squealed, and she jumped up, and she grabbed me by my neck, and she got up and twirled until she was over me and on top of me. She wasn't literally laying on me, but she had me. She lifted me up by my neck and laid me on the bed by my neck, and she was over me, and she was choking me. And just choking me and choking me and choking me and choking me. And I couldn't speak. I couldn't breathe. And I remember the only thing that I could think of to say was Jesus in some kind of way, even though I couldn't talk. That shit came out. I said Jesus, and it scared her ass because I saw her face like, and she let me go. And like this was sore and hurting. I was coughing. It was crazy. Just crazy. Constantly having bruises, limps, can't sit, can't lay. I couldn't express myself how I wanted to. I couldn't, if she angered me, I couldn't show anger. I always had to have a neutral face. And what I feel like now is I use smiling as a defense mechanism. So when most people see me, I'm always like, hey, good morning, hey, and I'm always like joking and being comical and funny. And it doesn't matter what the heck's going on. I've been homeless probably a lot. The last time I did a count on how many times I moved, which was years ago, I think I wasn't even 30, and I counted 19 times, and I've moved way more since then. And like I've been homeless, slept in my car a few times, and I don't know, like just no matter what's going on, you're not gonna know. I'm always going to give you that face. And I know that comes from, I feel like that comes from that, you know, like not being able to be angry or be sad or be upset. Like you couldn't cry. And, you know, like some people's parents would be like, wipe your face, you know, don't cry, stop it. It wasn't like that. Like if she says stop it, you better figure it out because she coming in again. And I've seen her slap men, beat and fight men. I wasn't going to try to compete with that. I remember one of my friends was like, oh, you know, you got to hit her back to let her know you're too old for beatings. I was like, are you trying to get me murdered? Are you nuts? No, I'm not doing that. And, you know, just staying up all night, sitting in my bed, daydreaming about killing her. Yep. She thought I was asleep. I wasn't asleep. Yep. I never did it, but I used to think about it. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to try to see if I can maybe jot down a couple more stories or memories from elementary so I can kind of breeze you guys through. Yeah. Again, my goal is to motivate those, especially our youth, to let them know that although we may not understand why we are here, we may not understand who placed us here. You can't choose your parents. You can't choose your family. As a child, as an adult, you can choose whoever the fuck you want to choose, even if there's no one. But as a kid, you can't. And I try to make sure, you know, like they see me and I'm normal and I'm okay. I don't have mental problems. I haven't developed bad habits like drug use and stuff like that. And I try to show that to my students and any other youth that I come across, or anyone. Yeah, you know, like I said, you know, I have different ways of dealing with my stress, which I'm working on, you know, with meditation and things like that. And, you know, but my goal is to help. So I just want everyone to know that although some things I may say you might not agree, you know, with me cursing or saying stuff like God damn it, you know, but just understand that this is my way. This is how I express myself. And the core of me is here to help. I'm not, and I want people to think twice when you have your children. Think first before you even bring them here. And then if they come here by chance, it's not their fault that you hate yourself. It's not their fault that you're lonely. It's not their fault that every man that you date leaves you. Any things in your life that are stressing you out, it's not their fault that you don't make a lot of money. It's not your child's fault. And nothing is their fault. They're babies. I'm not just here for the kids. I'm also here for the adults, and for you to understand what it's like on the other side. And some people were abused, and studies have shown that they do it again. Like, they grow up and become just like what they watched growing up. You know, beating their kids in the head with a brush because they're not sitting still enough for them. You know, stupid shit like that. I got whacked quite a few times. Either way, I'm going to close with that. You are watching and tuned into Tesh Talk TV. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.